with the Silver Creek Toolbox?
Getting more familiar.
So if you log into Toolbox, this is the home page. Right here, if you hit Silver Creek TV, open it. I think it would open it. This is what you'll see. There's a slight time delay. I have to be quick. There's a slight time delay. Actually, I look good when I sums it up there. But nonetheless, if you're just watching, it's like 30 seconds or something like that. So any class that we have in here, we try to have that live stream. So, I don't know, when we have bad weather, or if you're just stuck at home, or you want to hear a speaker, but you didn't sign up for the class, most of the time, unless they protest, we'll stream it live. A couple of classes are, paid classes, and they don't want to stream those things live. And then other things that we don't stream are maybe staff meetings, or, a private team meeting, something like that. Anyhow, so that said, that's what's going on with this. Other than that, on the homepage here, where it says docs and files, this is going to take us to the new website for submitting your docs. I'm going to go into a live version of this in a minute, but we're going to do the presentation first. The presentation itself takes maybe 15 minutes. So after that, it's all questions from you guys. And there's a little handout right there.
I'm sorry for disturbance.
You're fine. Just want to make sure you have a handout, though.
She's going to go grab her computer, too.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's my battery's quite sharp. Just go ahead and look at it. Yeah. Cheryl's coming too.
Okay, so I'm George Profundi, for those of you who don't know me.
Hi,
I'm
George.
Silver Creek CIO. Thank you, Pat.
Hi, George.
Hello. So, to start off with, on this whole new system, I get a lot of questions as to, why did we do this? What's the goal here? And it's kind of a multifaceted thing. First, and most importantly, we want to get good communication. Some scenarios that have happened in the past couple years, and it seems to be getting worse, is agents will email things in, and they never make it. It could be our system. It could be your system. It could be the service that you're using to send emails. It could be the internet itself. I've had a lot of people, one in particular comes to mind recently, where she was at Eastern Idaho, and she was trying to send in her transactions. She was using Form Simplicity, and there's an email feature in there. She was emailing it out there. So she had gotten, I know a lot of you guys refer to it as Nastygrams, but a communication from the office saying, hey, we just found this listing. You've had it for months, and we don't have any paperwork. We need, this, and then it turns out, oh, by the way, it's closing in like a week. So, really bad. And so she got transferred over to me. I spent time with her on the phone. I said, okay, well, maybe it's Gmail or something like that. We've seen that happen, so why don't you email it to me at my MSN? So she tried. I got all the documents all together, which I'm sure you guys know we can't have digitally signed documents, block documents all as one. We have them individually, but not all as one. So that doesn't work. And she said, no, I tried to send them separated. So she tried again, nothing happened. We went back and forth. I remoted in with her. We did some testing. Finally, I ended up logging into her Form Simplicity account from here and downloading the documents. I was able to download them. They were all separated. They were all PDFs. I attached them to an email and I sent it to the front desk. Email didn't go. Tried it, emailing it to myself didn't go. So I ended up, my solution was I logged into Gmail, the Silver Creek front desk at Gmail, uploaded the documents and emailed them to the same email, silvercreekfrontdesk@gmail.com. And lo and behold, they showed up. So what that tells me from the tech side of things is Gmail has a system. They have a firewall that's set up around all their servers that are, for some reason, filtering out those types of attachments. In a digitally signed document, depending on how it's formatted, more often than not has some encryption code on it, and that encryption code looks like viruses. Okay, to Gmail, to Microsoft, to Apple, whatever. Sometimes they're smart enough to realize it's not really a bad thing. Sometimes they aren't. And so, you know, it's like our errors and omissions. It's the ones we don't know about that cause the biggest problems. Okay, so we needed to come up with a way to communicate better so we could receive the documents. The flip side of this is we were sending communications to agents. We always loved to upload into M-Files, but you guys weren't regularly going into M-Files, so you wouldn't read the comments. So you just relied completely on the emails from us. Same thing happens. Those emails go out, and I always joke about this, but I swear there's a room in Iowa. I'm picking on you, Iowa, if anybody's listening. With a room full of on-pair socks and emails. So I don't know. I can't tell you why those aren't getting through. They're just little text messages attached to an email. So the big reason for doing this more than anything else is communication. The next big reason is because there have been so many comments from agents about M-Files itself that they don't find it usable or just couldn't navigate it. It was confusing to them. So, I went back to my early education, kindergarten, and thought about things and said, well, what can we do that's super simplistic? And honestly, this process is good because I've kind of learned a lesson in it. And this is the direction we're going to be going in the future. This website is designed with, red light, green light? Remember the kindergarten thing? Okay. We're going basic colors here. Red, green, yellow. I threw an orange in there. Okay? And I'll explain what those mean. So what we found in the process is that you guys, once you start using this, we get a lot of comments, well, my file's red. I don't like it being red. Not, oh, it's red because of these comments, or it's got an action required on it, which it actually says action required, but it's red. Everybody, I think Krista can agree to this. That's what we hear constantly. It's red, or it's green, or it's yellow, or what does it mean? And you know what? It's a whole lot simpler for us to say, look for the red files, look for the green files, look for the yellow files, look for the orange files. So, lesson in this is that it's really important for us to make things as intuitive as possible. And I think that's something that's been lost in the real estate community, is these services, they're getting bigger and bigger. They're trying to appeal to a national audience, and they start throwing in all these bells and whistles, and the next thing you have is a really convoluted system that nobody can use. Okay? Now, we're kind of at stage 2 internally on this, but we're going to be having probably 3 more stages to this, and who knows what the future holds. The first stage was the agent onboarding process to make it easier for you guys to fill out contracts and things like that through the website, and then us to track agents who are joining and make sure everything's good with them. The next step was what we're going to do today, which is give you the ability to upload your own documents and communicate with the office, see communications from the office, and keeping it simple. The next stage will be working on the accounting portion of this, so that you'll be able to see the accounting of each transaction in a very simple way on this same website. You won't have to go to a different website. Be able to integrate it so that you can access your monthly bills, do your credit card payments, or however you want to do things like that in a very simple way. And then the stage after that will have more to do with CRM. I don't know how many of you are familiar with that, but start giving you the ability to manage and market to your customers and clients too, but prior to the transactions. So, sending them flyers and trying to generate business and things like that. After that, that will open up some doors for integration to MLSs and whatnot. That's a little more complicated because we're members of so many different MLSs. But that's the direction we're going with this.
What is the code here to get online?
Silver Creek with a capital S and an exclamation point at the end. So, and that's the same in all the offices. So you'd be looking for, it might be Boise, it might be Neanderthal, but it's Silver Creek AP for access point.
In this room, it's 89.
AP9 is 7.
I think I got on. Maybe.
Okay, so let's get this started.
I'm on.
Where is, no, I clicked, there it is. Okay. So, when you go to scoffice.net, it's the shortest version. We made a whole bunch of different web addresses. It's going to redirect you to the actual website, which is a secure website. It'll have a little HTTPS. The S stands for secure. So it'll take you to that site. But scoffice.net is the easiest one to go to. Once you're there, you'll put in, everybody's different. It's the same as what your old M-Files was. First letter of your first name, last name, then the last 6 of your social. Some of you are the last 4 of your social. Some of you, if you're a Smith, it might be, if you're Michael Smith, Mike Smith, or Michael might have been, M. Smith might have already been taken, so then we go longer, and all of you should know your logins. If you don't, see us.
I'm not getting on.
You're not getting done?
Well, I put in the SCO office.net and it just takes me a bunch of addresses and
It's
I think yeah.
A lot of people do searches
That's what I'm
as
doing.
opposed to putting it into the URL at the
Yeah,
top.
that's what I'm doing now.
And that
So I
sometimes
should
depends on your
hit the whole
browser.
HTTP.
You don't have to put that. You just have to make sure you have it right here.
So once you're in there, and I'm just going to go through this. You guys can try it on your computers as you're going. We're going to go through a live, kind of a live try it out thing after we go through the presentation.
Is that it? No.
That's what you have to finish typing in. And then
Well, I mean, I already did it. Is that it right there? This one?
Okay. So once you log in, it's going to take you to this page. Basically, you're going to have, you can see green, orange, red, yellow, green, bunch of oranges. This is my test agent. My test agent has a whole lot of closings coming up. Okay? Orange means getting ready to close. And that's one of the things that we wanted to do with this process. When you guys are putting in your contract submission checklist, it's electronic now. You don't have to search for that. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. When you're putting that in, you put an estimated closing date on there if you have it. If you don't have it, you can do it later. That estimated closing date is what we use to do a pre-audit.
There are a group of agents, and I hope I was trying to watch you, but they're getting a lot of this.
No sound.
They know that was like a quick button to me.
Very strange. Check that real quick. That's good. All right, guys. We want everybody to be able to hear it, so. I suspect it's likely on their side. Well, there. I mean, that's one sure way to know. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're back with you. We have audio, everything's fine. So, these are the colors that you see. If you hover over these up here, it'll explain what each one does. Okay? Red is bad. Can we all agree red's bad? Green is mostly good. Not completely good. And this is something that may change. We've tried it a couple different ways, and some agents like it one way, some like it another. So, right now, if it's green, that means that there's no action required on the property itself, but that doesn't mean that there couldn't be a document in it that has an action required. And the reason we chose to go this way is because if it's an incomplete document, for instance, you do a listing and you have a seller property disclosure. That seller property disclosure is going to be quote unquote incomplete because maybe all you have is the seller's signature, not the buyer's signature. You don't even have a buyer yet. Okay, so we list that document as incomplete. However, we are changing this, but a lot of the old ones still say incomplete. So we're changing it. It'll say complete seller's copy, seller signed only. But in the meantime, a lot of the old files will say incomplete to be read. Because they're red, it was making the whole transaction red, except there was really nothing wrong with the transaction. So there's some other scenarios as well. So to keep it simple, we're just telling everybody, make sure you're checking your transaction documents, and I'll show you how to do that in a very simple way in a moment. So that said, Orange already mentioned it's 7 days from closing. We're doing a pre-closing audit. Basically, we're looking at your files all throughout. So if you're responding to the things that we send you, you're probably going to be in good shape. But we do an audit prior to closing. Let's see here. Green, yellow. Yellow means that you guys just created the transaction, and it's been sent to us. The office has an assignment to review it, make sure everything's good and whatnot. When a transaction is yellow, you can actually add documents, but you can't upload on top of a yellow document. It hasn't been reviewed yet. So we'll go into some scenarios when we're doing the test. So some areas on the home page, we have add to existing. We already talked about that a little bit. If you want to go to one of those files, you just click it. Okay. To the right of that, we have these alerts: action required, active properties, search M files, paid, and dead. And these are recent, only the last month. Agent documents action required. So you notice it gives the address, the lead-based paint, disclosure. There's an action required. Please have agent initial section F and resend for file thanks. So it's the same. You will receive an email as well. But as we've already talked about, sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. This puts it right there. Okay? And you can also see this when you go into the transaction itself. The next one down was agent active properties. Same thing. It's going to show really the same thing as this. It's just going to show it right here. The only difference is it actually puts the comment section right here. So if it's red, there's got to be a comment. Our system requires that we have a comment to make it red. And you're going to see what that comment is. I didn't put the paid or put the paid here. I didn't do the dead. But basically, once it closes, this is a surefire way to know it has a check been issued. Once it shows up in here, a check was issued. Okay. Other things to look at. This is the section kind of to the middle left that says a new buyer heading or new listing heading. So if you're going to be turning in an existing property, you have a buyer on an existing property, you're just going to come down here to buyer and click on existing property. What that's going to do is open. Everybody familiar with the contract submission checklist? That document you're supposed to be turning in with every transaction. Well, now you have to fill it out. So when you come here, it's going to ask you things like, well, it's already going to know who you are, so it's going to put that into the active agent. If you have maybe a teammate or a co-agent that you work with, you can select them from the list of agents. So in this case, I'm Administrator Copperfield. I picked myself. George Fundy as a co-agent. And Transaction Coordinator, I put on here Silver Creek Agent Services. I have had some comments, by the way. Silver Creek Agent Services is a transaction coordinator team. They're not part of Silver Creek. They do handle a bunch of agents. So that's just my example. You do not have to, if you don't have a TC, you don't have to fill that out. It'll just remain empty. Okay. The staff is Silver Creek, and that does cost a little bit. So, it'll already check. Did you pick buyer or seller? Those types of things. Some other, here's that transaction coordinator field. You can see all different transaction coordinators or teams. If you're on a team and you have a team person who manages. Do we have any actual transaction coordinators in here? Okay. If a TC is watching, there are some added fields for TCs that they see that you guys won't because they're managing multiple agents. To make it a little bit. Other than that, you'll pick the address, you'll put in there your buyer information. If you have the seller, I would imagine you do, you'll put the seller on there. You have earnest money collected. Do you want to say anything about earnest money, Krista? Just in terms of what they should be picking here? We give them the options of check included with contract, check mailed by client, and other. What would they typically be putting?
Whatever's in the contract. They need to match the contract.
So
So
if
you're talking, title company is our preference, and delivery, whatever you put. So my preference would be, just deliver to the title company.
you guys are right on the
Next number,
just so
please.
you know.
I don't remember what the three choices are.
So the three choices are check included with contract, check mailed by client, and other.
So check included with contract would be whatever's in the contract.
Now, if you're giving it to the title company, it's still included with contract. Okay. If you put in there a check to be issued within 3 days of acceptance, then that's what you should put in other. Does that make sense? Seller information. Other than that, responsible broker. Chris is on there. Chris is the responsible broker. Earnest money payable to, any special comments on that? Maybe it's going to the builder or something, as opposed to title.
George?
Yes.
So on that, say you filled it out and you submitted a listing package. Is that probably what you would do? Then you wanted to open back up that listing package or go back
Show
into
you.
there. Oh, we're not there yet.
Yep, not there yet.
Okay, sorry. I thought you were going to miss that.
Nope, we didn't miss anything. So anyhow, that's that contract submission checklist. Now keep in mind, if you have a listing, all you may have is seller's name and address, or lot and block. Or maybe you don't even have lot and block. We give you the option of putting in something like, you can put whatever you want in there, really. The goal here is we're not looking for the legal description. We're looking for an understanding of what everybody's going to refer to this, so that we're all talking the same language. If it's a to be determined, and you don't even have a street, if you have a street, great. Maybe it's TBD Smith Avenue, or maybe it's TBD Eagle, Idaho. Okay, it's going to automatically generate a name on our side, and it'll be TBD Eagle, Idaho, UD agent. So it does define it. So you have that option. Some questions I've had is, well, what if I have two sellers, Bob and Mary Smith? Well, in the first name, put Bob and Mary. Last name, put Smith. If you have more than that, right below, I don't know if it shows on here. Buyer right here, you have buyer entity name. So if you had Mike Jackson, Bob Smith, Michelle Johnson, a whole list of people, you could just put them in that entity. That's a whole bunch, okay? Again, the goal is for us to name things so we're all talking the same language. Other than that on here, if anything about it, here's the acceptance date, there's the estimated closing date. Obviously, if you don't have it, you can't fill that out. So just fill out what you can. Once you do that, it's going to create a transaction page. Now, if you didn't have that information, it's all up here. So you can fill it in at this point. Or you could maybe have a listing and a month goes by and then you get an offer and you accept the offer. Well, you can fill out the information then. All the pertinent stuff like that. You can't change the address. If you need to change the address, like maybe you're going from lot 5, block 6, whatever community to an actual street address, you should have some addendum or amendment. What are they using? An addendum. So you should have an addendum that you're turning in to change the transaction's name from some block to a street, or any change for that matter. When we see that, we're going to review it and we'll take care of that on the back end. So now we're in here, and typically these fields will all be empty. We have 3 different sections. One is for property documents. Well, it's all property documents. One for required documents, and they'll be empty. So you'll have a purchase and sale. It depends on the type of transaction that you're doing as to what we require. And obviously, that's going to change a little bit depending on, pre-1978. Well, you're going to need your lead-based paint disclosure. okay? That's not gonna show up in the top. That you guys as real estate agents should know those things, and we're gonna ask for them if you don't get them. So that said, you'll drag, just basically you'll have a PDF and you'll just drag and drop it onto the gray area, and we're gonna do this, so you'll see this in action in a moment. You'll just drag and drop, let go, and it's gonna turn yellow. And if you want to make a comment, there's a little comment field down below, and you can add it right here. If a transaction is, or a document is red, then that means there's an action required, and it's the same as before. So say you have purchase and sale in there, and we send you a comment, oh, you're missing an initial on page 2. Okay, you'll get the email, you'll also see it in here. You'll be able to expand a comment and see the comment from George Profundi expanded and said, oh, it's an initial from page 2. You go, okay, great. We do still need all, what is it? It depends on the type of transaction, but basically 7 pages. We need all the pages with that one in there. Just drag it in and drop it right on top. Okay? And it's going to, not really replace, it's going to stack it on top of the other one, but the latest version is what you guys see. Okay? We'll get, on our side, we'll get a notice to review it and make sure everything's good on the new version. And then if everything's good, it'll turn green. Okay? If you have something like a rejected transaction, so we've gone back and forth on this, but basically what we're asking you to do, if you're only uploading the first page with the rejected across it, then go into the other documents, select purchase and sale agreement, and just add a new, just that page, and then put a comment rejected, and we'll make sure it gets named accordingly. Is that correct?
As long as we already have the full purchase and sale buyer signed in the file.
The other option is you have the purchase and sale in here, and it's green. Well, it's not rejected, it's red because we're waiting for a signature, and it gets rejected. So you could take all 7 pages, write rejected across the front, and drag that on top. But then we have to have all 7 pages. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. That's about the most complicated thing in this. So it's not too bad. The lower portion, we have 2 other areas, one for other documents. So right down here, in the other documents, we can add another document, and it'll just add a whole bunch of, keep making more blank fields.
For those of you that have your laptops and have it up, if you go in back to the home screen, so get out of the contract submission checklist screen, go to the home one and select one of your existing transactions. And then you can go in and see what's on the screen right now, what George talked about.
So just so you know, you see the little plus right here? You can shrink those. It'll just hide that whole section or show the whole section. By default, the required documents and the other documents are expanded. Then there's one right down here. This one has 0 documents in it, but it's not expanded. Of course, there's nothing in there, so I can't expand it. But say you have a listing and you get an offer, it's rejected. Get another offer, rejected. You know, you get 5 offers, and the 5th one's accepted. So all those other offers, when they're rejected, we will dead that offer, and it's going to go down into this section. The idea here is so that you're only dealing with the active stuff above here, so it's less confusing. You can still get to it, just press this, it'll expand. You'll see all the old offers and whatnot, but this way it keeps it kind of compartmentalized so you're focused on the stuff that's active. That's new as of today. That's the presentation portion of this. Now I am going to go in and I'm going to log in as my test agent, and we're going to create a transaction so you guys can see the whole thing in action. Pretty exciting.
Troy, quick question.
Yes.
So if we've already submitted documents, the traditional way through email, is it in there?
Yes.
Okay, it's already in there.
So here's the truth.
And I haven't been in there
Okay.
yet, so it should be in there.
Yeah, they'll all be in there.
Okay.
In fact, when you go in there for the first time, a lot of times you see things. I have agents contacting me and saying, I have a Reddit in here from 2012.
Yeah, that's really
Well, that means there was something you were supposed to do and never did.
yeah, so now,
Are you going to tell us how to handle those?
I can't tell them.
Okay.
So, I've had a request, Elaine requested this. If you guys have a whole bunch of them, you're always welcome to either stop by or send an email. with a list of the ones. If it's just something like, I can't get it. If you can't access the information anymore, it's 2012. You don't even know who these people are. You don't have a copy of whatever it is we're asking for. It's just way back. There's a certain point where we're willing to let go. Okay? Just keep in mind, the idea here is, if we get an audit, the last thing we want is you guys to get a fine. So we're trying to keep you out of that scenario. Nonetheless, there's sometimes you just can't get it, okay? Communicate with us, and you can do that via email. You could put a note on the transaction itself and say, hey, this is way out of date. You know, if it's just one of them, this is old, I can't get this document. Can you remove this from my file? We can do it, okay? We'll review that. Now, that's ultimately up to Krista if she's willing to do that. But nonetheless, we're going to review it and try to make a good decision with it. If it's a document that's maybe missing something and maybe you do have it, well, by all means, send it in. Just drag and drop it on top or add it to the file, and that's the ideal, that we have a nice clean file so if we get an audit. Because, you know, the way the Real Estate Commission works is, if they get a complaint or something like that, then all of a sudden they want to look at all these other files. And, you know, you may be good on this one that you're getting the complaint on, but if you have one over here that maybe does have a missing rejection on it, that's a violation. Whether or not they'll go after it, I don't know. That's up to them. But it is a violation. So it's the law.
So the section you just covered, are you going to just keep going to another topic?
I'm actually going to log in as.
And that'll clarify some of the notes that you.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm logging in as David Copperfield. And I like to say we picked David Copperfield because this is magic. But that's not why. I actually just needed a bunch of names and went according to Dickens' book.
We can get to that login screen from the toolbox.
Mm-hmm. If you click on EM files.
Yeah.
And there's only like 3 screens you guys have to deal with.
Yeah, there's not that much here.
It's super simple. Don't be afraid.
So as I told you, we're logged in now. If you hover over these, it's going to tell you what each one means. And to give you an idea, I didn't want to put this on here because my goal is to force us on the programming side to make this as user-friendly as possible so that you don't even need a menu. You don't need directions. You know, it's kind of intuitive. And I understand the technology itself might be a little overwhelming. Just look at it as a page, you know. So, some cool things we have now. If you're on your home page, I'm going to find something on the bottom. You have a TBD down here. So, if you just want to search, you have a whole bunch. TBD, it's going to pull up just the one that you want. Okay?
So where it says add to existing, that doesn't mean you're adding anything that's
No, that's just a
specifically
lookup.
That's just looking up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of messed me up there because I thought, well, okay, gotcha.
That's why it says search
So I
properties.
Oh, okay, minute. All right, got it.
If we want to just come in here, so we have this red one, okay? So I'm going to click on this red one, and it's going to open up. I am working on speeding this up, but we want it to be 100% accurate for you guys. So we're in this red one. I can scroll down. I can see all these different sections. I do have a document. This is that dead or archived. So this was a backup offer. Okay? That was put down there. So let's find out, why is it red? So we can see that's red, which is a 2-agent in this case. If we look at the view comments, please check your documents for signature. Okay. Yours is going to be far more descriptive. This is me testing, so sorry. It would probably say something, you know, if the whole transaction is red, maybe we're missing your earnest money receipt. Okay? In which case, you're going to get a red flag. So then you can just take care of it. So maybe the comment was we're missing, well, let's go with that. We're missing a receipt. So we're going to add document. And it's going to add a document right in this section. Hopefully. Yes, it did. Right here. Now, this is what gets everybody. Hold on to your seat. If if you're using a Windows computer, this doesn't work this way on a Mac. If you grab this right here and just go over to the side and let go, and now it's taking up half the screen. Okay? You can then click on your desktop, and you have half a screen that you can work with here. If you grab, same thing, we grab it. If we went to the upper left and let go, it's going to take up a quarter of the screen. So just make sure when you grab it, just come over to the left or right. It works either way. Okay?
Did you say not on Macs though?
Not on Macs. You know, Macs kind of do something.
You actually can buy, you don't have to use a free version. I used it for a long time. You can get a plugin that does the exact same thing. So I can show you that later if you want. But it's pretty helpful.
Okay. So now that we have this a half screen, I'm going to open up this test file. So this is where I've saved my documents on my computer. I downloaded them. Maybe you download to your desktop. Maybe you use Dropbox. It doesn't really matter. Any of these will work. And I don't actually have a receipt in here. Let's just make believe that this is a receipt. Okay. I would then take this and drag it into, well, actually, before I drag it in, we have to select receipt. That's what we're make-believing we were asked for. Here's receipt. So we're going to just take this, and we're going to drag it onto the gray.
That's it. Just put on the gray, that's it.
And let go. Now it turned yellow, which means it was uploaded, and you are done with that. If I wanted to put a comment on it, just scroll down a little bit more, see where it says add comment. Here you go. Now that said, if you don't need a comment, don't put a comment.
So George, so what if you upload a file like that, but drop it in there and you go, oh, that's the wrong one, and you go back in and
You can't change it until we review it. So what I would do in that case is go to the comment section and say, sorry guys, uploaded the wrong document here. And then just upload the right document on a different spot.
you have to wait until it goes from yellow to do that.
Well, it goes yellow in just a second.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take long.
But they have to review it before you can actually put the right one in. Is that what you're saying?
No. So if you put the wrong document here,
Yeah.
you just come here and say add another document, and put a comment in here that this was the wrong document, sorry, and then add another document, and in a moment it's going to create a new section here, and blah blah blah, do the same thing. That's it. That's all you have to do. Errors happen, we know that. We're going to review it.
I remember what he's talking about is earlier you said something about you can't resubmit something until you.
So you can't drag and drop on top of a yellow. So if I try to drag on top of this and let go, well, I missed it completely, so that's my fault. But it's just going to open up the document here. It's not actually going to upload. Okay? So you can't upload on top of a yellow.
Okay. And then we'll fix it on our side.
Okay. If you wanted to see what you uploaded, you can download this file. Click this, it'll open up, and you can see your document. Okay? That's the basics for adding in here. If you wanted to, so this section here is only shown on listings. So if you get a bunch of buyers, maybe you have a bunch of offers and you're trying to keep track of it in your head, you can put them all on here and then put a comment next to them, or that's just a section that helps us also because we're going to put the name of the buyer on each one of your documents to help keep them organized. So if you're juggling 5 different offers, you'll see purchase and sale, Smith, purchase and sale, Johnson, purchase and sale, Langton, whatever. I did have one of the TCs, she likes to use this, and she'll put in here accepted. And then on the next one, maybe she puts backup. You don't have to do any of that. That's really for you. Okay? Helps keep you organized, but it is good information. The other thing is we have this section here. So say we want to put in here, we're switching title. Now, you guys know this. If you switch title, it has to reflect what's in your contract. So if you're changing your title company, you need to be doing an addendum and change it, right? So we're going to say we did that, and we'll just say Title 1. Before you add any documents down here, it's better to hit the Submit Property Updates. What I have seen, it doesn't happen every time, but most of the time, is if you change something here and then add a document down here, it'll erase what you did up here. I'm working on a solution on that, but just keep that in mind. Submit those top parts before doing anything else. Down at the bottom, there's a Submit Document Updates. So if you add a document, it's in there immediately. You don't have to hit a button. The only time you might want to do that is if all you did was come in here and add a comment, then go ahead and hit the Submit Document Update. That just ensures that we receive it. Cool? So let's go to the home page and let's create a transaction from scratch. Helps if I click it. You need to click. We'll have another class on click. The home page takes 10-15 seconds. And what's really going on here is we have the old M files. This is a window on top of it to give you guys the ability to do more things. So it has to read M files and then create a page. So there is a slight delay. We are working at speed. So just looking back. Let's do a seller. So we have a new listing. We're on an existing property. I don't have a co-agent. I'm not going to put anything there. I'm not on a team, but if I were, I could pick the team or the TC. We already have this right. I'm just going to go with a standard, pick an address or something. East, Great by name.
So we can't input this ourselves, you're just watching me do this, is that right?
No, you would do this if you're creating a transaction.
We can do it here while you're
He
doing
just means
it.
right now.
Well, yeah, but you kind of want to use a real one. So
Oh, okay.
this is live. So if you guys do a test transaction, it's going to upload it.
And then you'll get all these uploads.
And then you'll get phone calls from Elaine.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a lot of great by lanes.
Yeah. It could be from Krista. It could be, but generally it hits the office staff first. We'll say lot 5, block 6, test subdivision. So I'm using a test agent, and they know that David Copfield's test. So Mike, and yes, you can do whatever you want here, but Mike and Sarah Smith. Seller, it's a family trust, so we're going to say Johnson Family Trust. Hamilton. I never said I was a good seller.
We want those to match. Obviously, the seller name to match the seller of record, the buyer name to match who's under contract. So if it's Michael, spell it out.
Right.
If it's Mike.
Ideally, everything should match your contract. The only time it gets weird is if you start having 9 different buyers, and in that
Just
case,
throw your hands up.
yeah, do the best you can. Try to get it as accurate as possible.
How do you put in multiple buyers if you don't have room in that one?
Just use the buyer entity. Just put a comma between them or something.
I'll put them there for all the multiple ones.
Yeah, just put them in there. We'll deal with it on the back end, but this is going to auto name, and so it's going to look first at the name, the first name that you put in there, and then it's going to look at that entity. If you didn't have anything in the first and last name, it would look to the entity and give a name to the report. If we need to adjust it, we'll do it on the back end. So other things, let's see. We're going to say amount was $1,000 on the earnest money collected, and it was check included with contract It went to the title company, so it's check number 5698. Krista is the responsible broker. Actually, yeah, we do have a buyer. Krista is the responsible broker. Earnest money payable to title company. Let's see, deposit immediately. Sales price was $350,000. Title company is Swell Test Title. The more info you give us, the better. If you don't put anything in the field, it's fine. Other brokerage name. This helps us, and it really helps you more than us in the future. But ultimately, you can go into the old M files. It still exists, and I'll show you how to do that. But you can go in there. So say a year from now, you want to see how many deals you did with Bob Smith over at Coldwell Banker. Okay. You want to send Bob a gift because you know you did a bunch. You just want to see. Well, you'll be able to search for that stuff if you enter these fields. Acceptance date is today. Estimated closing date is the 30th of next month. Special instructions. Please share 10% commission with George. You're welcome to put that on all of your transactions. Not greedy.
Going for volume.
So now I created this page. You notice it has a temporary name. We're gonna, when we do the review, we'll finalize the name. And these are the fields that we filled in. I thought I did other brokerage. I guess I didn't. I talked about it. So let's split the page. And now we're going to add some documents. So we have the seller rep. Let's see, grab a seller rep. Yeah, I do. Do I have a purchase and sale agreement? Real estate purchase and sale agreement. There we go. Property condition disclosure. Okay. Due diligence. No. But I did have, and I should have set. We're doing this as if we took the listing and got the buyer at the same time. Obviously, if you had a listing, you might have a bunch of documents that you're turning in, but not have a buyer, not have any of that. Just would still skip that. Let's see, what else do we have here? Lead-based paint. You can actually start typing and it'll find it. So let's see, lead-based paint. And seller waiver benefits. We did that when we did the listing, so waiver benefits. I don't know if it's under seller or waiver. It's under waiver. So waiver benefits. And that's everything I have for this transaction. So we're done with this. So all we have to do, we can say submit document updates. You don't really need to. We can go back to the home page right here. And I'm going to go full screen again so you can see everything. So we're going back to the home page, and we should see 156156 East Great By Lane on the home page.
George, does clicking on submit document changes or whatever when it wasn't necessary, does that create any problems for you?
No.
All right.
That's just there if you want to.
Let's see, 156. So we're going to do that little search thing. And there it is, 156. So, you know, we haven't reviewed it yet, but then you're like, oh crap, I forgot to put a document in there. You can go back in and, you know, add another document. Maybe you do have the due diligence disclosure, you know, whatever, you can add it. So once you create it, it's created. And then we'll do the review on the back end. Every document you submit, we review. Every single one. I was pulling up some numbers. I saw that. I was pulling up some numbers the other day. The past 7 days, what did I say it was? It was ridiculous.
Like the number of documents?
Yeah, do you remember how many?
It was like 3,000.
Yeah. So so a lot of people have asked, well, isn't this making it a lot easier for staff? Not really. We still have to review every single document. It doesn't change that. But it does help a little bit in that it gets everybody put their documents in as PDFs. If you're one of those agents who likes to take pictures of your documents out in the middle of nowhere as a JPEG and then email it to people, we will find you. It's like the surest way to get attention from other agents is to send out JPEGs, and then you'll get a whole bunch of them show up to your house with torches. You got a question?
I think you went over this, but I'm sorry I didn't understand. Is there no way, like, if we've got a file on our desktop with each of our individual files, a folder, can we just download the whole folder, or do we need to do it?
You have to do them individually, but you do have a couple options too. And I didn't say this. If you're on a tablet and you say you're saving all your stuff to Dropbox, I don't know, a lot of people use Dropbox these days, or any of those. You could actually bring this up on your phone and navigate to your Dropbox and upload your documents. So it'll work that way too. So when we're uploading that document, you see where before we talked about dragging and dropping here, you can also say select file, and then it'll bring up a folder for you to upload the document from. So either way works. That said, before you upload the document, you do have to pick the type, and that's really the reason why you can't do it in bulk, because you may name things differently than we name things, and we need to know that a lead-based paint is lead-based paint, and pretty simple.
So you do that first and then drag.
Yeah. So you just due diligence disclosure, select file. I don't have one here, but I believe.
Sure.
Due diligence disclosure, and it does the same thing. So, but that's why you can't do it in bulk. Now, one day maybe, we have some things that we can work on here, and this is all on a platform that gives me a lot of control over programming. This is ultimately a SQL database, and there's a lot of things we can do. But this took a year. Well, actually, this took 14 months. So it's a lot of work that went into this, and hopefully it's pretty rock solid for you. The speed can be a little bit faster, but we also are trying to deal with people who have bad internet connections or use browsers that do funny things. So we're slowed it down a little bit and try to throw in a little extra code to make sure that you have a good experience. So at some point, I hope to speed it up. And it's not slow. It's real quick to upload documents. The only thing that's kind of slow is when you go to the home page. Any questions? Does it look simple?
Yeah, it does. I'll be honest. I started doing it, and then I kind of got a glitch, and I would like just some time to go through mine personally, one-on-one, to be sure that I can navigate properly.
We can do that.
I mean, if anybody here is that advanced, they can help me, or you could.
No, we can do it. Anybody else have anything? Does this look like you can do it? Are you all excited? We'll see. Okay, I'll take that. I'm eliciting some positives here.
There you go.
It will put everybody in a much better position in the long run. So, and I'll get that communication issue go away. Yeah.
Anyone have like an old file that's like when you read it from like a year or two ago?
It's in there.
Okay, so you have to go back and input all the data on that one side here, or just go back and just put the information that's required.
So if it's an old one, and it's in here as red, then just put in what's required. That's all we need.
You don't have to fill out the proper information.
No, it'll have much of that information already in there. I mean, if you've already closed it and were paid or whatever, then just read whatever it is. There's not a lot of those, but there are some out there if you're already paid, where Krista was nice and let the payment happen because the issue wasn't necessarily a major infraction.
I wasn't on deck in 2012, so.
Okay. Well, this was a year ago.
So the other thing is, what I did this week is I had some documents, and I knew that our deadline was the 22nd, so I was all, so I just gave them in. Now, are those attached on here? Oh.
It should all be in it.
See, I didn't know.
We'll take a look.
Sure.
You and I can take a look.
Yeah.
Two other things to point out. Right here, search M files. If you click this, it's going to take you to the old one. And I know a lot of people don't love it. Nonetheless, if you come in here, If you want to search something from 3 years ago that closed, it's in here.
Cool.
From 5 years ago, it's in here. So that's kind of cool. You know, we don't archive these things. We've kept everything active. And it's basically the same fields. So this is paid all, and this is paid the current, the most recent. So when you're on the new website and it's, you know, paid recent, that's basically, it's going to reflect what's in this folder.
And how far back do you have that set, George?
I believe it's 30 days.
30.
And then
Paid all.
all. Now this is someone I just made up. This agency. We don't really have anything from old. But you would see 2012 in this. So the old one still exists. Other than that, I think that covers all fields. So that said, Race does have some information if you have a Mac.
I think Mac. No, does anyone else have a Mac? Mac, okay. So if you were interested in that drag to the edge thing,
Incident.
let me show you the app really quick.
This is for uploading to Silver. Once you created your document. We're not changing any of that. We're just making up storage places, you know, to manage transactions.
So on the Mac App Store, it's just called Magnet. And it's 99 cents, and it does the same thing. So let's see here.
So that split screen, that's what it's about.
Basically, yeah, if you drag the edges, it'll do split, just like it shows right there. And that's 99 cents. So if you want that feature, you can add it easily.
I will be getting it for my Mac.